Welcome, everyone. My name is Jason. Today, I will be your host, and we are happy to welcome you, our viewers, today at an international discussion on the Creative Society channel. With our guests, we will be discussing the previous international conference that took place on December 4th, 2021, Global Crisis, Time for the Truth. At this time, our guests are from around the world. I'm going to introduce them to you now. And we have with us Zenab Khouder from California. She is an Arabic certified court interpreter. Ricki, Lynette from Mexico, a participant of the Creative Society Project. And Wilkens Etienne from Florida, USA. He's an IT specialist. Guys, if you like, go ahead and say hi. And after that, excuse me. Let me not forget my wonderful other host with me today, Alina. Alina will also be co-hosting with me today. So everyone, please say hi to our audience.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi, everyone. And I'm very happy to see everyone here today. And we know that Creative Society unites people from all around the world, and it unites people from different states. But something what unites all these people deep inside is the will to change the world for a better, to make this world a better place to live. So they invite to join everyone this amazing platform. And today, as Jason mentioned already, we will dive deeper into the topics that were discussed at the International Online Conference, Global Crisis, Time for the Truth. The conference took place on December the 4th, 2021. It got viral, and today you can find the whole conference, 12 hours, in YouTube and different social media networks. We invite you to watch this conference because the topics which were raised, they affect and concern everyone. So after this conference, we have received an overwhelming amount of comments and support from people worldwide. So people who wrote us, they understand very well the severity of the climate crisis and environmental degradation. Since the conference, many severe catastrophic events took place. We are very sorry for every person and every family who got affected, for those who lost their lives. And we are doing our best to inform today the whole world about the severity of the situation. And we understand very well the urgency in sharing this information about the Creative Society as fast as possible with as many as each of us can. Why? Because Creative Society is the only chance for us to find the solution. This is why we are continuing the research and our actions globally. And we would like to announce proudly that on May 7th, 2022, there will take place an international forum, Global Crisis, where people we want to live, which will be streamed to thousands of channels and simultaneously translated and interpreted in 100 languages. The truth will sound with renewed vigor, because every day more and more people witness what is happening in the world, and they want to share this truth with the whole world. We invite all honest and concerned people, eyewitnesses of climatic disasters, people who deal with human slavery, refugees, and traffic victims to this international forum. And we would like to invite scientists and experts to join us in telling the truth. I wanted to make this long presentation for our viewers who might watch us for the first time today. And I would like to continue our discussion. My first question would be for Zenab. We know that the conference, Global Crisis Time for the Truth, was simultaneously interpreted into 100 languages. And we know that you formed a group and added many people who were able to translate the conference and into Arabic. And this is such an important language for the whole world. What motivated you to act and unite so many people from around the world to do these translations?
Hello, all. To tell you the truth, I've been volunteering in a lot of nonprofit organizations because I believe that what goes around comes around, and we really need to help each other to survive. So I even been elected as the Dynamo. I got the Dynamo Award from our ATA, which is American Translation Association, because I've been bringing all those translators and interpreters together to help each other learn from our experience and, do something good for our humanity, especially with all those refugees from all those Arabic countries that are coming to the United States. We needed a lot of qualified people to work in this place to reserve their rights and be their voices. So when I was searching on Facebook, I'm always eager to learn whatever going on around the world, and I found this. Somebody posted we need volunteers, and when I looked, it's a very important subject, global crisis. So I said I would like to volunteer. And after finding out how big this group is, how organized, all this technical support, I said, this is a great opportunity for a lot of my students and a lot of other colleagues to practice interpreting, become better, and also to help in saving the world in a way. So I did create a group on WhatsApp. I already have a lot of groups, WhatsApp, Facebook, everywhere. I've been, always posting things that help my colleagues. And so created this group with the Ukrainian team and started adding people. And if you are interested in interpreting, whether you are already an interpreter and have a lot of experience, you can be a mentor. If you don't have experience yet, you will get the experience. And, it was a great opportunity for all those students and for everybody.
Amazing. Thank you so much for sharing. And I think the importance of these actions we understand only now because the message was sent to different parts of the world. And grace to your actions today, so many people could get informed, and now they know about the project Creative Society. And the interesting thing you mentioned is that people, they use their skills and their creativity to act. And this is also the characteristic of Creative Society project and all volunteers who participate. We all participate by our knowledge, by our skills, and we learn every day something new. And every next day, as a big community, we become stronger, more professional. And thank you for your actions.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Zenab, thank you so much for sharing. And just how simple it is to take one courageous action to do something selflessly and unselfishly for other people. It's truly an excellent example. And it's what many people do with the Creative Society. So thank you. And thank you, Alina, for the great introduction about the very much important topic and task of telling the truth to people. And right now I have a question for one of the participants of the Creative Society project. Wilkens, what was the most memorable and important moment of the conference for you, and why? What gave you the biggest push to act?
Well, at the conference, just revealing just how much, not only how we affect the ecology of the planet, just how serious the nature of the matter is and how we need to act right now in order to affect change. It's so important to bring awareness about exactly what's going on. There's so much information out there, and it's like we live in a day and age when we really don't know what to believe. And the fact that just people who care volunteers without any agenda, who are not backed up by one organization or another, is just come together to speak openly about what's going on is so important. And at the conference, those very things were talked about. And if you care about this planet, you can't help but feel compelled to join and to speak up about what's happening. So that's what really affected me the most, to really see that just a group of people not only talks about the ecology of what we're doing to the planet, but about the very nature of the larger problem, which is the cyclicity that we don't affect, and how we can come together and do something to affect that in a positive way.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for your feedback and sharing your experience. Yes, it is definitely quite obvious, especially after watching that 12-hour conference, that human beings affect the ecology. We're destroying our ecosystem all around us, and we're supposed to be caretakers. But there was an important aspect that you highlighted, the cyclicity of climate and how those processes take place and what we do and what we don't know yet. And I believe that was as well an important part of the conference, because now we can move forward and discuss with all of the scientists on the planet to find out what we don't know together and collectively take action. And just the small steps of the participants here and Zenab, and just taking a small action has a tremendous effect in people's lives all over the world. So I wanted to say thank you guys again. And ladies, thank you for being here before I move on to a question for Ricki. So thank you so much, Wilkens. Ricki, I know you've seen this conference, and what can you tell people who have not yet watched it? You know, people who don't have 12 hours. Yes, we're chopping it up into fragments to make it easier for people because everyone's got a busy life, but what can you tell those people who may not watch it or who have not watched it yet, or they may only have time just for this international discussion? Please.
Well, I've watched it twice, by the way. First time I was live with you guys answering in the live chat questions from people. And, you know, and toward the end of the conference, people actually said, hey, I signed up, I joined. Which was after going back and forth and saying, you're not listening to the conference, you're not paying attention to what they're saying, but they were responding without listening. And after, it was me, Olga, Marina, and I think another Olga was answering in the comments. And a little right before the conference ended, some people signed up. They came back and said, hey, we joined, which I was really happy about that. And what I can say to those who haven't seen it is that you don't know what you missed. There was a lot of information sent out about the conference. Some of you didn't see it, some of you did see it. But I would suggest you to go and watch it, because there are scientific facts in there that they're not talked about today, and they're not going to talk about it. You'll hear it in that conference. And what's disturbing is that you read, you go on TikTok, you go on Facebook, and you see comments or people saying, well, it's nonsense, this and this and this. You know what, I would tell you this, don't judge it until you watch it. Watch it and then judge it. Then you can have an opinion about it. You can't have an opinion if you haven't seen it. It's like going to the movies and watching it and not what, it's like seeing a brand new movie coming out and you haven't seen it, but you have an opinion about it. So I would suggest to go and watch the conference and then give your opinion about it. Your full-blown opinion. It doesn't really matter. Just watch it and you'll see for yourself that you won't have an opinion afterward. The only opinion you will have is I should have watched this when it happened, you know. And it is being broken down. You can watch it you can watch it an hour a day. You can watch it 2 hours a day. You can watch it for 4 hours on a weekend. You have plenty of time. It will take you how many days to watch it? About 6 days to watch it. If you watch it with a conviction and just focus on it and listen to what the scientists are saying. But that's what I would tell people. And I have told people this. I even told my family this. I've told my friends this. You should have watched it. It's going to be broken down, but you should have watched it. And you cannot talk to me about anything because you haven't watched it. To watch it and then get back to me. And that's what I have to say to them. And anyone else, all these critics and these people out here who are saying, oh, this is nonsense. They don't know what they're talking about. What scientist comes out and speaks out? They did. They spoke out, you know, and that's what's important. It's important that those people come out and spoke out. We did this together. We coordinated everything and they worked with us, meaning that they know themselves that something's happening. No one listened to them before. And when Creative Society got in contact with these scientists, they come out and spoke because somebody was willing to listen to what they had to say. So if my only opinion to anyone who has an opinion is watch the conference and then, you know, get back to us and tell us what you think about it. If you want to join, join. We've got plenty of areas where you can come in and join at, plenty of activities where your personality can bloom and grow. But that's pretty much, you know, that's good advice. Let me tell you, that's wonderful advice for people who haven't seen it. So.
Thank you so much. It's very motivating.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And the fact that you mentioned that scientists, they provided the results of their research of years and tens of years. They were so happy to have a platform where they can speak honestly and openly about the results of their research. And the uniqueness of this platform is also because they bring together multidisciplinary specialists. And it's the first time in the history, there are specialists from different spheres from all around the world. They unite and they join together. And we are all motivated by one common goal, to live in the creative society, to pass through this period of global climatic cyclical changes, and to not only to, let's say, come through this period, but also to improve our environmental situation, our social situation, and really to build a society where human life is the biggest value. And the goal of creative society is, first of all, to ensure and guarantee the value of each human life. This is why I would like to ask a question to Zenab. Zenab, let's talk now about mutual help and collaboration, because mutual help and collaboration, that's something we miss a lot in our consumer society. We want to have it around in our families, in our communities, in our countries. In your opinion, how important it is today for people to unite and to work together in order to create this global human request to build a creative society? There, as I mentioned before, human life is the main value.
It's very important to come together and collaborate, because one person cannot do a lot. So we say one hand does not clap. In order to clap and be happy, we have to be more than one, and we have to unite. I think Earth is very important. Humans are more important than Earth. Our Creator created us to build this life and make it better. And I think we cannot do it alone. We have to have people, because this is how we get happy. If we see people happy, it makes us happy. Or this is what I believe, at least. Because you like, if you see somebody smiling, you will smile. If you see somebody crying, you will cry. Even sometimes you don't show it, but like, negative people make you sometimes feel miserable, and positive people make you feel happy. And we really need happiness to survive. This is what makes us healthier. This is what makes us better people. So I really wish we can do that.
We can, and we will, that's for sure, because
We're
there are so many amazing people already around us, joined together. And thank you so much for your motivational message. And let's continue our discussion. As Ricki mentioned, it's important for everyone to watch the conference. And now I would like to bring your attention and let's watch together a short video from the conference. And I would like to invite you to watch it from not like a scientific movie or a video, but from the fact that this is happening now with our home where we all live and how much it can affect each of us. And let's think together, if it's already happening, what will be after if we don't do anything? So please, let's watch this video.
Inhale of the Earth. Scientists have been recording something frightening. Lakes, rivers, and waterfalls are disappearing all over the planet. Where is the water going so fast? Lakes. The second largest lake in Bolivia, which is called Pulpo, has simply dried up. Satellite images show that the water was still there in April 2013. But by January 2016, the lake had completely dried up. Not only has this become a tragedy for the people living there, but also a dire prediction about the future of many lakes on the global scale. The destruction of Lake Aguelo, that had been 6 meters deep, happened so suddenly as if someone removed a giant plug and released all the water. In just 7 years, the lake completely disappeared. In California, the state's second largest reservoir, Lake Oroville, is disappearing at a catastrophic rate. As you can see, even a buoy is at the lake bottom. For the first time in history, what was once the deepest reservoir has descended to a record low level. In Lake Pechera, the water disappeared along with fish. The narrow hole through which the lake apparently drained dragged down all the aquatic fauna with it. Rivers. The level of the Parana River, the second longest in South America after Amazon, is currently at its lowest level in 77 years. Water in the Atoyac River disappears suddenly after a giant fissure had opened, through which the water left. The Great Indus River in Pakistan is left almost without water today. The size of its delta has shrunk by more than 5 times. Several settlements along the coast were deserted. Hundreds of people had to leave. In 2013, from a 3-meter deep raging torrent, the Sims River turned into something so shallow that it barely was above scientists' sneakers in the deepest part of the reservoir. The Rio Grande, an important river for the US residents, has begun to disappear. Despite its impressive size, its banks have already turned into a pile of sand and rocks. Many rivers in the US are in danger of drying up, from the mighty Colorado to the Gasconade. Waterfalls. One of the most majestic waterfalls in the world, the Iguazu Falls complex, which is almost 3 kilometers wide, has lately decreased by 5 times. The second most powerful waterfall in the world after Iguazu, Victoria Falls, was on the verge of disappearance in 2019. Ecuador's highest waterfall, San Rafael Falls, disappeared for good in 2020. Instead of a roaring, rushing waterfall, there is now a thin, barely visible brook flowing down the rocks. On all the continents, we observe that water is leaving, which means it's a planetary scale process. It's worth pondering. How will worldwide water shortages affect the lives of us all? According to the research by American scientists, water level in the world's largest rivers have dropped significantly over the last 50 years. All around the world, thousands of rivers and reservoirs are disappearing, but at the same time, there are powerful downpours. For example, in China, despite frequent floods, more than 27,000 rivers has disappeared, which is about 50% of country's rivers. How can this be explained? In Ukraine, more than 10,000 rivers have disappeared over the past 30 years, and wells are drying up. A quarter of England's rivers and a half of its small streams are also in danger of disappearing. Due to water shortages, India is facing water crisis like never before. A natural question arises: where is the water going? Currently, our planet is entering a cycle of planetary cataclysms, which occur every 12,000 years. During the cycle, galactic interaction affects the core of the planet, causing the core to become unbalanced, and it begins to jump. Because of this, the planet accelerates its rotation and begins to expand along its equator. Microcracks are formed, and water reservoirs goes down to greater depths. This intake of water by the planet can be compared to an inhale. Right now, the planet is inhaling. Does it mean that at some point it will exhale? So when and how will our planet exhale? As a result of the planet's acceleration, its centrifugal force changes and magma begins to rise to the surface of the Earth's crust and warm the underground waters. Already today, we're witnessing rapid melting of glaciers from the bottom up, heating of deep layers of the world ocean, melting of permafrost, and cases when people see water in wells boiling up. In the bowels of Western Siberia alone, at a depth of 1.5 kilometers, there's an entire sea of hot water measuring 1 trillion cubic meters. And such bubbling and boiling underground sea are not only found under Siberia, but in many other regions as well. There is enough water to cause another biblical flood. So when magma reaches these huge reserves of water, this water will start to massively evaporate. Just imagine the quantities of water that will come out of the ground as the planet exhales. This will result in incessant downpours, causing catastrophic floods. We expect water to rise up by miles, so only the tops of the mountains will remain. The fact that the planet breathes has been mentioned since time immemorial. This already happened in the history of humankind. An example of this is the Great Flood, which is mentioned in many myths of the people of the world.
Well, we have mentioned that the earth breathes, it absorbs water, and having contracted, gives it away. And this happens instantly. It can happen overnight.
Our civilization is faced with the most terrible enemy, one that is merciless in its manifestation. He is already overpowering us, and we, because of our separation consumerist format, are not even fighting back. If we want to preserve life on the planet, we need to act as a united front. This is the only way to guarantee a secure future for us. To do this, it is vital for us to unite and change the format of society to the creative one. In this format, we will quickly develop technology which will provide us with the ability to preserve our lives as the Earth exhales. Right now, you decide what happens next and which scenario we will follow.
Well, as we all can see, drought is a big problem all over the world. Water is simply disappearing. It would be interesting, though, to hear if someone has a holistic picture regarding this, whether it be a scientist or a layperson, of how this water is actually disappearing in countries all around the world. You know, what are the mechanisms of this process? It'd be great to hear that. Moving on, Zenab, you're in California. Did you know that the water is disappearing on this planet so rapidly prior to watching this short film, and as well as disappearing in other countries around the world? Have you seen any of this in California?
Yeah, the video mentioned how big California is and how much like this water reservoir is decreasing. Like California has 39 million people and we use a lot of water and we need the water. I found out lately we have a lot of fires. Even in the beginning of winter, like there is fires because like this water disappearing is creating drought. And we're losing a lot of like farming land and forests. There is like those are all disappearing with water. Animals are affected. We are affected. Yes, I notice a lot like of those. Like sometimes we get rain. We don't have too much rain in California, but like it's really hot. Like we are in winter. Everybody else have snow and enjoying rain, and we don't have it. We wish, like we only had like 1 week of rain so far. So all this factories and the misuse of water and like everything that's happening around is affecting our water supplies. And water is very important for us, for all humanity.
Yes, thank you. And places are changing as we're seeing so far. Ricki, Alina has a question for you, and then we'll move on to another question for Wilkens. So thank you, Zenab, for your response.
Thank you. And I just wanted to add that now I'm in California too, and but I'm traveling. I'm here for a couple of months, and I noticed that there is a shortage of water. And even when you go to public places like restaurants, they don't have restrooms, and they write on the doors that due to the drought, restrooms are not functioning. They are out of order because there is no water. And this is such an obvious example. And the first time that I saw such a note on the door, I couldn't believe. And then I saw more and more of them. And definitely, yes, that's very obvious. And even then, I watched the video for the first time, and all the facts which were brought together by volunteers and scientists. I was asking myself, oh my God, it's not a National Geographic entertainment video. It's happening now with us. How serious we should take it, how serious we should be in our actions, how important it is. And we don't hear so much that people around speak about it on the global scale. I wish we could unite and talk more about it and bring this truth to the world, because it looks at honestly, the time is very important, and we should use all the time. And we know that scientists, they have many solutions. Right now, they are not used or used for someone's profit, but in a creative society, we can use all solutions and all technologies to preserve life, first of all, human life. So let's continue. And I have a question for Ricki. Can you share with us, because you know already the topics of the conference, you've been involved to some researches as well. Why don't we people see the wholesome picture of what a disappearance on the news, in mass media? Why don't people who are to speak about such important things and to alarm, they don't do it? And what we can do in such a situation as a society, as a community of people living on this planet?
Well, I know Mexico has more than one lake dried up, and I didn't find out on the media. I found out through YouTube by other YouTubers. And why did I have to find out there? Why wasn't it on the news? Well, when I went to Google it, then I found it on news channels, but it was on Google. Why wasn't it on TV? I mean, people want to hear this. I mean, there are women who stay home and take care of their children. There are men who stay home and take care of their children who watch the news sometimes, right? And when I found out about the lakes, I was like, what the heck is going on? And then I started, Googling and checking things out. And, that's right when I started getting involved with the Creative Society. And, but the reason why they're not telling anybody is because they think people are freaked out. Where's the water going? Where's the water going? Right? Well, if they don't freak out now, it's going to be 10 times worse later on. So it's better for them to start, it's better for people to start asking questions right now, what is going on, and reaching out to even to the local universities, asking the professors. We have a lot of students here, and we're surrounded by colleges, and what bothers me is that you don't even hear these kids talking about it, these teenagers. So it goes to show they don't even teach us in school. Nobody's talking about it. And the media's not going to say anything about it. Why should they? I mean, they operate through different organizations, 3, if I'm not mistaken, that runs everything. And so they have to pretty much repeat the same news on every news channel around these nations in the United States and Turkey, or it doesn't matter where you are. They're doing it everywhere. And the problem that I have with it is this. When I see these lakes drying up, I see food going to waste. You've got fish in these lakes, fresh fish that people go and fish these lakes, and now they're gone. So there's a food source that has totally disappeared. In Mexico, it's the same way. People go to these ponds and they go fishing, and they can't go fishing there now because they're gone. Or if they're not gone, they're polluted. So either way you go, we are allowing our ecosystem to be destroyed, not only by, let me just get something clear. We're not doing all the eco-destroying. It's the companies that we allow to do it. We're the consumer, which we buy the product that they bring to our home, not even realizing what's going on. We're not thinking about that. We're thinking about how proud we are to have these brand new things that we have, not realizing that we're destroying our planet. But we can't take all the blame ourselves. These factories and these businesses are blame as well. So this is personal responsibility on the behalf of every single person. And the only way to solve it is to prove that we're worthy of doing this, and building the Creative Society is the worthiness of that happening, because we're helping each other as human beings to come together, to get our sciences together. What I find disturbing is that people just don't get it. They don't get it. We all have kids. Some of us don't have kids in here, but a lot of us have kids. And when I see my kids, the last thing I want is a disaster to come through and, shake our houses up really bad. Because, as of now, there are villages underwater, literally underwater, but it's not on the news. Where are the people going to live? Where are they going to go? In the Creative Society, we wouldn't have that issue. It would be taken care of. These people wouldn't have to worry. Our people wouldn't have to worry. These are our people. And it bothers me. It bothers me that to know that this could happen to my kids, my neighbors, the people 10 miles down the street. But just getting closer and closer and closer to us. Each one of us in this chat, in this meeting right here, in the other meetings, on the YouTube channels, it doesn't matter where you are, it's getting closer and closer and closer to us. So the only way to solve this problem is to build a Creative Society. It's the only way. I don't see any other way, because we changed the consumerist format to a human format. And that's what's more important, is the human format. Love, care, responsibility for each other. It ain't going to change no other way. It will only escalate and get worse. That's what's going to happen. But I don't want to see that happen. I know the Creative Society will get built, but do they know? Do you know that it's going to get built? All you have to do is come onto the website, creativesociety.com, join us, look at the info. Nothing can hurt you from looking at the info there. Nothing at all. If you don't want it, then so be it. But there's millions of people who want it. Millions of people that when they go to the website, they click and join. They don't have to volunteer and do anything. But joining shows support. And that matters. Even the support matters. But yeah, that's what I have to say.
Thank you, Ricki. That was very passionate. It's really nice, actually, to see someone be so passionate about the Creative Society project and take it as serious because, well, we've been living this way for so long. So if we don't do all of this together, then as was said earlier, the action of one individual doesn't matter. That's why it requires the unification of all people, because it requires that much effort to change so many facets of our lives, so many different systems that we've been accustomed to that will honestly hold us back if we don't move forward and unite. And that leads me to my next question for Wilkens. I know, and as we all see, Ricki knows and Alina knows, that the creative society is the way forward to overcome the climate crisis. But Wilkens, will you share your personal opinion regarding this? How is that? Let's share some explicit knowledge with our viewers. What's your personal opinion on that?
Well, yeah, I can't help but to agree with everything Ricki just said just now. I mean, I'm at my friend's house right now, and we were just having a lively discussion about children and personal responsibility. And to me, the creative society is, just people taking that personal responsibility to provide a future for our children. What are we going to do if we just sit idly and not make the necessary change? I don't think we can leave it up to the mass media to inform anyone, because as we can see, I don't think they're that interested in doing that. So we really need to affect this change, together, and inform as many people that we can, until we can't help but be heard by everyone. It's for the sake of not only ourselves, but future generations. The video that we just watched pointed out that, what can happen is on the scale of, the biblical floods. Who's going to survive that? These people who know the truth that aren't talking about it, as it said, they think they're going to be able to hide away on the very tops of those mountains or deep inside a bunker somewhere. And I just think those ideas are just absolutely absurd. No one's going to survive this. And so we need to take that responsibility now and inform as many as people as possible. And then we need to actually start creating, start implementing this plan to build a creative society so we can have a future, and not only a future, but a prosperous one. When I think about the prospects of a creative society, it fills me up with so much hope to think that we can overcome these this climatic situation that we're facing right now, and not only overcome it, but thrive in a society where everyone is free and everyone is equal and everyone can prosper. So, I mean, those are the things that are just, so important to me. We have to get over this in order to step into a future that's bright, for everyone.
Yes, I agree. We have enormous potential as humanity. There are so many bright, clever people. There is so much knowledge and wisdom in our society. And the only obstacle today is a consumer format of the society. And as soon as we understand it, we can act really. And another topic I wanted to bring to talk about is the fact that today the attention of many people is attracted to different crises and problems which exist in our world, and not to the biggest one, which is a climatic crisis. And unless we understand that between all terrible crisis we have in this world, climatic changes is the worst, because so far we don't have the tools how to fix it. And we really need the unity of people. This is why, again, I would like to ask a question to Zenab. because coming back to your personal example of your action and the consequences of it, how many people from around the world united in the idea to help with the translation on this conference, how what an impact finally it had on the fact that more people in the world, they learned the truth. And it's so important. I would say that this is a truly heroic action today. And I'm not exaggerating, because this is the action then we step over our ego and we act together. But many people who maybe are watching us today and who already learned about the project of Creative Society, they say and they share that they have lost faith in humanity. And they don't believe that there is a way to change the consumer format of the society in which we live. What would you say to these people? What would be your answer and your motivational answer to those who are losing faith or who have lost faith already?
Well, I will say what Mahatma Gandhi said. You must not lose faith in humanity. Humanity is an ocean. If a few drops of an ocean are dirty, the ocean does not become dirty. So this is, I think I will conclude with that. And we rise to by lifting each other.
True.
Thank you
Short
so much.
and exact.
Well, everyone, maybe you all would like to ask each other something while we're here. Zenab, Ricki, or Wilkens. Would you like to ask each other something?
What I would like to add is this. You can watch the conference in many, many ways. You can turn on the phone in the car while you take the children to school and listen it on your phone with the, turn on the little speaker connector thing. I'm not good with tech, so I don't know all the names. You can listen to it in the yard. You can listen to it at the park. There's many places you can listen to it in parks just to watch the conference. But I will employ everyone to watch that conference because we all matter. Our children matter. We matter because we're all family. And Zenab, what you did was amazing. That proves that you are a creative society. But
Thank you very much.
That proves a lot. And to Wilkens and Jason and Alina, all the cooperation during the conference and even afterwards, we're still in cooperation. It's really important to stay in communication and to stay always in cooperation and help getting the information out. It's very important. I mean, like I said, I have kids. Jason has kids. I don't know who else has children, but Gina, Alina, and Wilkens. So yeah, we all have
I think
kids.
we all do here. So
yeah.
I think
So
we all
when
do here.
when we see our children, either we can leave them a world that's completely destroyed and a desert, or we can leave them utopia, literal utopia, guys. And this can happen, and we can do it. We can make it happen. So the only thing that's hindering is that finger pressing that join button. That's the only thing that's hindering people. So it was nice to meet you all. I have to go. And it was a pleasure as always. Zenab, Wilkens, Jason, Alina.
Thank you.
And all the members. I love you all and I wish you well. And everyone who's watching and anyone in their families, take a look at your children. I want you to ask yourself this important question. Look at your children and say, are you worth saving? And wait for the answer. Are you worth saving? Ask your children this. That's what I ask everybody who's watching this later on when it's posted. Ask your children that. Ask your family members that. I go and ask your mom, your sister, your brother, are you worth saving? And I guarantee the answer is going to be yes. It's going to be yes. So much love to you all. And thank you. And you all have a wonderful night. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Ricki. You shared your light with all of our viewers, and your light became even stronger because of it. And we wish you a wonderful evening. Thank you so much. And Wilkens, would you like to add something?
Yeah, I just want to express my sincere gratitude and thanks to everyone here tonight, Alina and Jason and Zenab, and also Ricki. Thanks so much for those kind words and just everything that we're doing. Zenab, I would also like to share, I'm also a simultaneous interpreter. I interpret into Haitian Creole for the Creative Society Haiti channel. And I always stress how challenging it is. Right now, I'm the only interpreter, so I would like to make a request to my fellow Haitians who are there, who may be listening to this meeting, this conference right now. If you are willing and you hear this message and it resonates with you, please go to creativesociety.com, click join, or get into contact with myself or any one of us who participates and, help to spread that message to, our community, to the Haitian community, because I feel like it's such an important topic, such important information that we get to the ears of everyone possible. And, I do my best to interpret Haitian Creole, but I'll be the first to admit it's not the greatest, so if there's anyone who can speak Creole much better or translate it from English into Creole, sometimes what the scientists are talking about and the volunteers, there's so much important information, and I do the best job that I can to interpret it in a meaningful way, but it's so important that it, feels like it has to get out the way that it is conveyed, So please join us, again, creativesociety.com, and or reach out to any of us. We're on TikTok, on Facebook, on YouTube and Telegram, every single social media that's out there. And again, Zenab, thank you so much for your contributions and your
Thank you very much. You're giving me too much credit. I don't deserve it. I think most of the volunteers that did translate and interpret deserve the credit more than me. I only helped bringing them together. And also thank you for Creative Society for creating this opportunity for us to learn about what was going on and also to practice our interpretation. And so I'm bringing us together as a family.
Yeah.
Thank you, Zaina. I just wanted to also, guys, can you imagine the online conference which lasted 12 hours? Can you imagine that every 3 minutes there is a new speaker bringing to the attention of our viewers very deep, very scientific, very different topics. And one person, Wilkens, translating into Creole language. Can you imagine this action? And I truly wish that for the next global forum on the 7th of May, we have an amazing team of people who can translate for all populations speaking Creole language, because that's a huge work. And in order to motivate us to act, I would like to invite you to watch a short video with us.
Humanity, various races, nationalities, religions, but we are all sailing in the same boat in this ocean of life. At the course of all-absorbing consumerism, which our common ship has taken today, is leading us to precipice. Just a little longer, and we will irreversibly fall into the abyss of economic, social, and climate catastrophes. Perhaps someone doesn't want to see and admit obvious facts, yet being afraid to turn around and see the reality. In the endless rush, in the ordinary everyday routine, in the race for success and survival in this world of consumerism. But every day, more and more people stop and ask themselves these questions. Where is this world coming to? What does the future hold for me and my children? How can I make sure that the world will be a safe, happy, and prosperous place? After all, no matter how successful you are, if the whole world is falling apart, there is no way you can avoid a bitter fate. We can change the course of our ship, which is speeding into the abyss, and instead of the abyss of consumption, steer it in the direction of the creative society. But we can do this only together. We need to unite our collective human potential, become a united civilization, and row in one direction. Uniting in a common goal, we need to direct our attention, our efforts, our knowledge, and our skills to charting a new course. And how quickly we can do this depends on the choice of each person. Our salvation is only in our unity. Only by working together can we build a truly decent world. A world that will have a future for us and our children. And that is the creative society. We still have a chance. So let's take it.
Interesting clip. Very inspirational, actually. You see, all of us in our lives have become familiar with this idea of the hero's journey. Okay, it's what everything we watch, everything we consume, and everything we do is centered around this idea of the hero's journey. Well, this is it today. This is really it for each person can be a hero. We, the very people of this planet, must simply mobilize urgently all of our collective intelligence, all of our energy, uniting all of it to overcome this enemy. And that is climate. Right now, mankind has always battled nature, of course, but it's different today. Today, the planet's population is growing upwards of 8 billion plus. That's how serious it is. And Ricki earlier, she asked a very important point, to look at our loved ones and ask them if they're worth saving. That's how serious it is. Each one of us can be that hero. This is the biggest battle of our society, our civilization. We must unite together in order to overcome a soulless enemy who has no regard for any person's social status, intelligence, hierarchy, favoritism. It doesn't matter. Place of residence, culture, it simply doesn't matter. All of us must unite to overcome this enemy. And so, together, we can defend our planet. And I ask that all of you who watch this today and all of you that are here today to join us on May 7th, 2022 for the International Forum. This particular forum will be broadcasted onto thousands of channels, and people willing, by their actions, interpreted simultaneously into more than 100 languages. We're shooting for 100, but I know we'll reach the goal of passing that so that all of us can hear the message. And we can unite, and the truth will sound with new vigor, new energy, and new action. So, as I've said and began with the hero's journey, I and we are now addressing you personally. If you are a human being, and you are a hero, and you're ready to act for the life of all humankind, and inform everyone you can about this conference, about the fact that the survival of all of us depends on each person's individual action. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. And my message will be very short. Join us. Don't stay silent. Tell about the forum on the 7th of May to all people you know. Creative Society is our one and only chance, but it's a beautiful chance. There, everyone will benefit. Thank you very much. and we invite everyone to join the beautiful family of Creative Society.